Good morning, everybody. All right, so I'm watching WATT. It looks pretty good, gapping up from 4.58 to $6. Sorry, running a little bit late this morning. Had to make me some coffee so I can wake up. Yeah, WATT is not tradable. I'm a little bummed out about it. What's up, Eric? What's up, Pun? Jason, Desert, Billy, Todd, Trail, Cheryl, John, Foy, Jacob. What's up, man? All right, and so yeah, I mean the rest of the volume kind of looks slow in the market. WATT looks good, can't trade it, but looks decent. Um, and that's really about it. I'm watching AMD, NIO, NBEV, CRON, some of these other ones. Gonna see what else is moving, but nothing else looks that good this morning. See if I can find anything else. I don't really see much. Hold on. ROKU did pretty well yesterday. Let me see. So I'll probably watch ROKU again today. What's the overall market doing today? Let's see. All right, so the overall SPY is down. So it actually rebounded pretty nice yesterday. It went up from where it opened up at about 237, 236, all the way up to 247. So it went up about $10 yesterday on the SPY. Um, it is gapping down some in pre-market. We'll see what it does today. I mean, it had a rebound day yesterday, and so we'll see if it starts pushing up as well. Yeah, it looks like the VXX is just following. I don't know what kind of ETF it is, but it looks like it's just following. It's an inverse ETF, so it's doing the opposite of what the market does. So, like, if the market tanks, the VXX goes up, and if the market goes down, then the VXX goes up. And oh, sorry, if the market goes up, then the VXX goes down. We'll see what we get it to do though. VRCA and QTT. Let's look at those. Both of them have pretty low volume, except for maybe QTT. What's up, Clay? Good morning, man. What's up, Israel? AUY. Low volume, high float stock, it looks like. Yeah, WATT looks good. Let's look up the news for WATT, try to see why it's moving like it is. If it's a weak news story, I may look at a put option for WATT. Just depends. Alright, it's up after getting an FCC nod. They received approval from the Federal Communications Commission, which is the FCC, for its hearing device, Delight PSAP. Says the device is like a hearing aid. It's for the hearing impaired, but will be available without a prescription. Last December, WATT also received FCC certification from its wireless charging transmitter. And it had tanked all throughout last year. Interesting what WATT does today. I mean, I've traded this one before, clearly. And, I thought this was a more expensive stock, but it looks like it has just dropped, a ton from this past year. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at, Jason. No stress, Clay. All right, I'll be right back, guys. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Like I said, running a little late this morning. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was getting coffee, getting ready. What's up, Billy Hills? What's up, man? I read what you said. You said, what did you say? About a year left of driving truck, then I'm gonna get your monthly script. I've done pretty good watching you. Hey, glad to hear, brother. Glad to hear, man. Coffee does make the world go around, man. That's for sure. I need it. My son woke up late. That was the problem. So like, I woke up late. You know. So like, really, I set my alarm for like 7:15 or so, and I woke up to it, and then I silenced it and fell back asleep and woke up at like 7:45. No, it's not tradable. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, the demo says that more stocks are tradable than there actually is what it is. Like the demo says there's more. Let's see what else we could find. How did I find the stocks that I have on my list every morning? Trade ideas, scanner, and really it's mostly just the trade ideas scanner. All right, so trying to look to see if we have anything else that looks decent, but you know, it's since it's a holiday week, I think it's going to be a little slower today, which is to be expected, honestly. Yeah, everything else looks pretty dull. I'm watching, you know, WATT, AMD, NBEV, Roku, ROKU, overall SPY, TEVA. What's up, Felix? Good morning, man. RGSE. Yeah, it's up some. Yeah, if you look at the daily chart for WATC, though, this one's just gotten pretty hit. You know, it's gapping up from where it's at now. It's about at right here now. right about here. But man, terrible looking daily chart. SNLO. No, I don't like SLNO. Just the volume's too low, and it's almost guaranteed not to be tradable for me. It's just the volume's low for it. We had a lot of stuff rebound yesterday. Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, it's just holiday. It's just holiday week volume, where uh, stuff's moving kind of slow because it's the holiday week. A lot of people are still out of town and stuff. So yesterday wasn't that bad, but it's mostly because the market bounced really well yesterday. Uh-oh. All right, Mitch is going to be here. All right. Let me get Mitch set up, guys. Give me a second. Let me get my new headphones on. Whoa. All right. Let's get Mitch in here. Yeah, sorry, I'm running a little kind of slow this morning, guys. Where is it? There it is. Here you go, Mitch. Make sure my volume's okay. Yep, volume's good. Desktop volume should come in. There we go. All right. Do I have a favorite? Do I predict anything after the first? No, not really, to be honest. I mean, here's the thing, like I'm a day trader, so like I really just day trade. I could I don't know what the overall market's gonna do. I hope it goes up, you know. I hope it goes up, but I like to just try to react to what it does. I have no idea, so my prediction might be wrong, you know. And I don't want to tell people the wrong info, but I have no idea what the overall market's going to do. I think that, you know, it's down a lot right now. You know, if you look at the SPY, I was showing my wife this yesterday, but if you look at the SPY, it's down a ton in the last month or so, 2 months or so, really. But it really started to get hit when they raised the interest rates a week or two ago. And, you know, it's rebounding some, but we'll see what happens. It all just depends, you know. I want to see it rebound, obviously. All right, guys, we should have Mitch here. Oh no, I don't think you were. I wasn't saying you were. I was just saying that I have no idea what it's gonna do. I know you weren't. I know you were just asking. You want AMD to keep dropping? Where'd you take 300 shares at 1785?
What up? What up? What up?
Not that, brother.
How we doing?
Yeah, that's a really good entry, honestly.
All right, all right. Gonna be here for a little quick trading action.
What's up, Mitch?
I'm expecting a little bounce today in the overall market. as I've been pretty dead on about the overall market.
Yeah, man. I mean, it bounced really nicely yesterday. Big rebound. I was kind of worried about it too. Once I saw it started to
Yeah.
drop again yesterday.
Yeah, I think the overall market, at least from my view, I think we're gonna get a bounce here.
Yep. Here, I'll be right back. Hold it down, Mitch.
Oh, there you go. That's what happened. I had double voice there. Nah, it's just I was also listening to through my Bluetooth headphones, and then I didn't take those off. It was Yeah, I got it. All right. So, like I said, yeah, I've been seeing the overall market kind of do this tank. I mean, I'm really surprised that I was able to see it kind of happen. I mean, if we go back, um, even around kind of the beginning of December, I was looking for that 280 to hold and then break down through those 260s. Called out this 240 as the support. One of the keys that I'm looking for the market to do is I look at kind of history. And last time we got this kind of move like this, we got to bounce back to the resistance. And once it rejected that resistance, we got that real sweep that went down to major lows. I'm expecting the SPY to kind of try to get back to those 260s. Um, if it can't get back to those 260s, I look for that resistance to hold and for it to come and try again those 233s. I'm even looking at some kind of options plays that I can do where I can make money on the way up to 260 and on the way down, all the way down to 233s. So one of the real keys is going to be is can we get back above there? Can we get that level back up there to that 260 and then get that rejection? If you kind of see all the big stocks are kind of following this. If you look at let's say Apple. You look at Apple, you're going to see a big drop. You're going to see can it get back to the resistance above that 180? That 180 is going to be real key. Can it get above that and get back into the 200s?
All right, I'm back.
I think this is going to be really key for the stocks in the next couple of days, especially stocks like AMD, MU, the bigger stocks. Essentially, these are moving with the market. They're not coming down because there's horrible news out on them. What's happening here is essentially just a pullback from overall market levels.
Right.
And so that's why these stocks have been going down so much. One of the keys is you can't just continue thinking that the stocks are going to just continuously tank because that can put you into really bad shoes on, let's say, like a bounce like yesterday, where you saw the SPY kind of just revert really quickly and kind of make up those extensions. As we know, on the long side, stocks always get extended and have a tendency to come back to the mean, then push off. The same way you should think about that for the overall market and stocks right now. They've kind of made that really hard down plunge, expect the bounce back, then look to see if resistance is going to hold so that we can get another attempt to plunge even further.
Right. But yeah, Eric, honestly, that entry is a pretty good entry, even if it was an accident, just because you got it right around the top. You know, you got it, let's see, about 5 cents away from the top. And it's dropping some in pre-market. I don't know what it's going to do today. It's up a lot yesterday, specifically talking about AMD, guys. But who knows, man? But good entry for the most part, you know.
Yeah, I could see a lot of these stocks maybe doing that like red to green move today, kind of showing
Yeah.
weakness. Couple days, the SPY showing weakness. It doesn't seem to me that the SPY is just going to turn around after that small bounce and just tank on right back down. So I could expect kind of that bounce. I'm going to look at the overall market, but I could see kind of a red to green move, kind of a really hard move down to supports, and then look at supports to see how much buyers are coming in there. Let's see if we got those bag holders, and that's what I'm going to be looking for. Look for stocks that have good daily charts, those nice extension levels.
Yep.
What's a good one? Good one to watch is going to be APHA. If it can get above, what's this close? 523s. No, that's not it. What's the high here? 659. So I'm going to look to see if we can get into the 6 today and get above that daily resistance. You see the daily kind of flag on that one.
Look how bad Roku has taken a hit in the last few weeks. Really few months.
I mean, essentially, you can pick a stock, and it's very rare to see a stock not down right now.
Right. 3 out of 4
pick any stock
hard.
you know and open it up, and you look at the daily, and you're going to start seeing weakness. All right, we got a minute towards the bell. Definitely today is one of those days that I'm not going to be overreacting towards the bell. Got to look for a huge support break, big volume, especially slower volume days like the holidays. Look for the move to be really strong versus let me get into the first weak move I see and blow my wrist for the day. Kind of be patient. Look for the right trade, the one that you're okay with kind of taking over and over again. And if it doesn't go right, it doesn't go right. But at the end of the day, you're going to take the trade because the pattern is there and the variables are there that you need.
Yep. Let's do it, guys. We got 15 seconds. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of right there with Todd. Like, I hope the market goes green just because I want the economy to do okay. Even as a short trader where I might make more in a down market,
I kind of
IRAs and stuff.
I'm evil. Let the market tank. Let everybody's money go bye-bye, and then I'll get in and make my
sides. You got both sides.
Hey, I look for opportunity. If the market comes down, that's a buying opportunity for me.
Right.
I'm not stressing it.
Yeah, I mean, I see it.
It's the old people that got to worry.
I mean, I have money in savings. I have an IRA, you know what I mean. But it's not that I have like a ton in it, but like I have savings and like a retirement account. Like as an entrepreneur, like I have a retirement account. Like I don't have like a 401k, but I have like the self-employed equivalent of one, and so for that reason I don't really want the market to tank, but
for that reason you're out.
For that reason, I'm out, man.
All right, let's see what we get here.
What's up, Dex? Good morning, man. Kalato, what's up, brother?
Indeed, with a washout green.
Yeah, man, look at that big down wick.
I'm just expecting it kind of a strength, overall strength in the market. There's MU going up.
Oh, yeah. Yesterday, guys, I ended my trade completely break even.
Look at this one. WPM. Getting some volume there. It's still kind of low in volume, but good move there out of the open.
Yeah, it is starting
nice 30-cent move there, straight upwards.
Yeah.
Just one to watch. The daily chart's really nice.
SPY's rebounding.
Could make a move up there to that 1960.
Everything else got pretty low volume. I mean, I see CGC kind of moving some, but Cron slow. NBEV slow.
I'm watching MRIN and also UXIN. but they're moving way too slow, way too kind of unpredictable there.
Right. Low
No
volume on all
range.
of them.
Yeah. Low volume, no range. Don't want to just kind of get into something way too quickly. And like we say, kind of blow that risk
Yep.
right out the
Something with
gate.
some slippage, some spread in there. Yeah, Roku spiking up. AMD. Who knows what AMD is going to do here? The next thing I really want to start backtesting is the rejection a little bit more. Focus like solely on the rejection. I think I
Yeah, I
backtested it
think
a little bit.
the rejection is just really all about risk or reward. It needs to be a 4-to-1 or bigger.
Yeah.
And if you do that, then it's okay to lose. Even if you win 25% of the time, you're going to be fine. The problem with the VWAP rejection, I think, that people have is taking a trade 4-to-1, understanding that you are going to be wrong, maybe even 70, 60% of the time, but you're still going to be profitable
In the
because
long run.
you're going to hold to your targets.
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty at this point, like with WATT, I think it's gonna come down now. Yeah, I think it's gonna come down now. Just about where it goes down to.
Yeah, no really hard washouts today. Did you see that?
Yeah, no. Well,
None.
CGC.
I mean, but that's bigger stock. Let's see the range if it really is a washout or not.
Yeah.
I think that's still range bound. MU really hiding up. AMD strengthening up there. Yeah, it just looks. I mean, we got to wait a little bit for it to break out the range, but it just looks like a strong day today.
Yeah. Yeah, WPM bouncing back. Cron looked pretty weak at first, and then it just completely bounced back. But that's kind of what you get when you get no volume really at the open. CGC, we'll see what it does. Everything's honestly really choppy today. Like WATT sideways, AMD sideways. NBEV had a pretty washout long here.
There you go. Here's one that is tradable for us now that I did not know of. ADIL is tradable for us.
Okay, it actually has some volume.
Oh, it's getting some strength. It's definitely getting some strength there. It's 620 area. 620 area. Some buyers stepped up.
Good job, Alex. Nice work, brother. Nice little VWAP bounce on WPM. Just perfect. Quickly pulled back there. Yeah, I'm just waiting for AMD. Some of these to just pick a direction.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Roku spiking. ROKU. NBEV
I'm watching
pulling back some.
ADIL to see what's going to happen, if it's going to break through this 680 on the top side, or if it's going to come back down to that 580. Just got to let it work. I feel like today, especially with the lower volume at the exact open, let the volume kind of build up, accumulate, let the moves start happening. Right now we're seeing ADIL get up there, push up there to that 680. And it immediately got washed out in the 60s. So that means there's some selling and some profit taking in that 60s.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at MBEV for a bounce here. You could set a risk of 522 if you really wanted to be super tight. 523, reward level 536. See if it bounces right here, which it kind of did already. It's a little late for it.
UXIN looks interesting there, but it's a little too tight. I don't really like it that much. It's just not enough range. You don't see the downside potential, and so it's there on the chart. But since you're not getting that support breakdown, I think it's not worth it on the risk to reward side.
Yeah. Look at Roku spike.
Yeah, like I said, man, I just had that feeling today. The overall SPY, what is it doing? It's coming up. That's what I expected. If it breaks 243.56, expect that breakout back to 247. UXIN coming down to those 790s. Looking better now if it comes back to 803 and you risk off of 810. But it's going to be a tight one.
Look at JD. Yeah, man. Somebody mentioned JD. Look at that one.
There's
Whoa.
there's this it's a SPY. The SPY is just jamming up there now.
Yeah,
All
SPY's
right.
climbing.
Looking for a bounce here on UXIN here. Looking for a bounce up to 803. 803 would be my entry. Risk 812.
Oh, wait. Let me put my intraday scanners up. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that overall market getting strong.
Is WATT bouncing now? It is. WATT trying to break this high of the day right here.
Watching also MRIN. MRIN. Interesting there at 82s to 7. Might look to see if I can get in the 80s for that one. Yeah, UXIN just taken down there. It might have been something to maybe try to tackle, you know. It's one of those that just, it's not exactly the strategy, so it kind of stood off of it, but definitely had potential on the daily chart to get back down here to the 60s. Look at that push from 8 down to 760 really quickly.
All right, so we're getting a pullback on SPY. We're also getting a drop on NIO. It's starting to kind of commit to a downward direction.
Thinking potential here for MRIN. Needs to bounce up there in the 80s.
It's spready. Way too spready for me. Spreads at least 10 cents. Kind of screws up risk reward a little bit.
I mean, it depends. I mean, you got 20 cents. You get in the 80s. You got at least first profit is going to be almost 40 cents. So you can risk up to 20 cents. So 680, you can risk all the way up to 7. If you get in this 685s, you can risk up to 705.
Right.
And so it's relatively, the spread is kind of a little messed up there, but still giving you a chance to make some money there, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, it's the spread's evening out a little bit right now. We'll see. But yeah, Roku, BTAI popping up on the scanners. Yeah, look at BTAI. Big move. Oh, it looks like a bio stock, low float, BTAI. Tiva, kind of a washout long so far. I'll be right back.
Man, MRIN just gets smacked down there. She was pretty. AEYE. Going off on the high day momentum scanner. Boom. Hey, buddy.
All right, what'd I miss? Nothing.
Nothing too major yet.
Appreciate the sub.
MRN back a little bit there, but the spread is pretty big there.
Spy pulling back. Appreciate the sub. Purpose, Lockup, and Anna Hop. Appreciate it. Welcome, guys. All right, so we got Roku maybe pulling back to the VWAP, NBEV sideways, CGC sideways, Cron sideways, Spy kind of sideways now. BTAI still spiking up. AMD.
Nice move there.
There goes NIO. NIO looking more interesting.
NIO getting slammed there.
Yeah.
616 would be up there. 617.
It's looking more interesting to me. I think it's up to 615. Risk of, either 618 or 620. Both look pretty good. Tight risk, good reward.
There's a couple out there now. I'm seeing APHA.
Yeah, here goes the Spy. Yeah, APHA pulling, getting hit too. Just gotta be careful we don't get what we got yesterday, which is like a little dip in the morning and then a big rebound for the Spy. ROKU pulling back to the VWAP or so here. I mean,
APHA getting a hard down move there.
a lot of these are just pulling back with the Spy in general. OAS. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of looking at NIO risk level of 615 or so, 618 or so.
Tron coming down there.
MU.
NIO getting smacked.
Yep. Watching it. What's up, Adele's? Good morning. What's up, James? John O. Good morning. Yeah, just kind of waiting. Not seeing too much I really, really like here. If NIO pulls back, I'll consider it. Roku kind of looks like a bounce. You could use this 3109 level as risk. Reward level up to 3215 or so. Doesn't look bad. Just about whether it actually holds that level now. What's up, Adels? All right, if NIO gets back up to 613, I'll consider it. I mean, reasonably risk reward can be at 17 or so, maybe 18. And so that gives me about a 5 cent risk reward level of down to 603, 604, so about a 10 cent reward. Cron tanking. What's up, Ira? Good morning. No stress. Let's look at NIO's daily. I mean, it's up a lot yesterday. I think reasonably it can get down to about 596 or so. Maybe 580s. Don't look terrible. But yeah, it looks like the market's taking a hit. I don't even see the SPY. I just see what everything else is doing. Yeah, SPY's getting hit. There it is. Wow. SPY down to 241.50.
And IO getting kind of close to that VWAP.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm watching it for sure. I mean, it's got some support and resistance at 615. I think my risk would be at 618 or so, though. Most of the time, those aren't available for us to trade at Dows. And so that's the only reason I think we really don't, is because most of the time we can't trade them. If they are available, it just depends on the volume. All right, NIO, really considering... I'm going to jump in with 200 shares here. I'll add another 300 if it gets up there. Wait, actually, it's back down to 11. I want it to get up to 12 at least. If not, it's going to screw up my risk reward with a tight risk like this is. There's 13. All right, I'm in with 200 shares on NIO. Yep. Yeah, that's the one I'm using at Dows. A lot of stuff tanking. Look at APHA, it just never looked back. The only thing with NIO, like this is kind of my theory on NIO, right? If the U.S. market is tanking, I think it's a Chinese company, correct? And so it actually might go up even though our market's tanking. And so that's my only kind of theory with this one. So I got to be careful. It's got a really tight risk. It's like 5 cents. And so the risk is small no matter what. It's like a $10, $15 loss if it...
Don't stress it, John. You got this. No theory needed. You're in the trade already.
Oh, no, for sure. You're right. I'm doing the thinking after I'm in.
Yep, you're already in, big man. You got this. Stick to your trade. That's it.
Yeah, risk is 618. I'm just holding it to that.
Yeah. Don't worry about the Chinese.
Cron, I mean, if Cron gets up to 1006, it looks interesting.
MRIN just got to squeeze. That doesn't mean that yours is, but MRIN definitely got to squeeze there.
Yep.
Trying to see what's going to go on here in the sevens. telling you, the one today was UXIN, but it was a hard one to take.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. Wait, look. That one hasn't. I didn't watch that one for some reason
Huge.
today. Oh man, look at that one. Big. It didn't
Big.
quite get up to the VWAP, so it wasn't perfect, but beautiful follow through for sure.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah, I mean this NIO is just a safe trade. I mean, even if I do get stopped out, it's like 5-6 cents, so it's like a $12 loss. Just taking it slow. I think the volume being like it is this week, gotta just kind of take it slow this week. Wait for the market to heat back up again. Drinking my coffee, you know. ROKU. We'll see what it does here. SPY came back down again.
Let's see if we can break this support there and hold that 241.61.
The SPY.
Yeah. So it's gone below the support. Let's see if it holds the support as resistance.
NBEV, I'm kind of looking at NBEV for a rejection if it gets up to 22. It's got a pretty tight risk of a 28 or so, maybe 30 if you want to get looser with it. And it doesn't look terrible if NBEV gets up there. Alright, so we're squeezing up to 14.15 here. This is the level it's really got to test, is this $15 point right here. It's got some support from the open there. Oh no, Sid, I was just speculating like if the US market's down, the Chinese market might be up. And so if the US market takes, Chinese stocks might be going up. That's kind of my speculation behind it. Alright, well we got a spike up to 15 on NBEV.
There you go.
Alright, we got to spike up. Like I said, risk area is probably 618 right here. It'll be a small loss no matter what. What's up, Mihail? Good morning, man. Appreciate the sub. Who do we get? CD Kelly. Where is Eric, man? He was doing his AMD trade. What did AMD? IRA Glover. Appreciate the sub, man. I look at Kron here, man. Kron's up there. Like that's kind of like I was kind of looking at the cannabis stocks. Kron's up there. It's up to 1003. Look at Kron, Mitch. Risk 1015 or so. About a 8-cent risk.
It's still looking like the prices are holding for me. I think we're gonna get a bounce back here. Crown doesn't seem too bad. 1010, 1005 entry, somewhere there. Risk off of above that, 1011.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cron doesn't look terrible.
Doesn't look terrible. It doesn't. It just also doesn't look like a 2-to-1. I'm looking at ADIL here.
Yeah, it's not a 2-to-1 for sure. It looks like maybe 1.5-to-1.
See what we get here in ADIL. If we're gonna get a smackdown, or if we're gonna get a buy here in the 30s. Looks like 3,600 shares. Let's see if it curves.
Appreciate the sub, Caesar. Welcome in. Appreciate it.
Definitely slower day.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
There's MRIN breaking out, and breaking out it is.
MU had a beautiful bounce off of the VWAP here. Look at this bounce. Nice little tight risk here. That's right, Adels. Big money is out on the yacht right now. CGC back up to the VWAP too. Kind of doing the same thing Cron's doing. MU still spiking up. AMD maybe a rejection here. Who knows though? It's kind of choppy right now. Alright, here's 17. This is where I got to be close with my NIO trade. Thinkorswim is lagging a little bit.
There's CGC back up there.
Yep.
SPY making its way back to the VWAP. MRIN just getting really, really nice squeeze there. Up there now to 740s. One that I'm looking at right now, looks like it's going to break out, is ADIL, but kind of giving it that time to get through this kind of consolidation period and kind of tip the hat, show me which direction it wants to head to.
All right, I got out of NIO. It stopped me out at 618.
Push.
Little baby trade.
There's that push for ADIL. That's what I was expecting.
I've heard TradeNet does. I've had a few people request withdrawals. Casey requested his on, I think he said the 10th, and he received it on the 19th of December, so about 9 days. Is what I've heard. I'm debating on whether I want to get in Cron here. It's just about where risk is at. Risk 1004 to 1015, about 11 cents reward level from 1004 down to 988. So about a, what is that, 16-cent reward. So about 1.6 to 1 reward to risk, not 2 to 1.
This is where I would think about ADIL if I was going to play a long play. It would be here in the 30s, trying to get closer to that 30 mark, risking off a 20, and here comes the buys. You know, this is one thing that I need to get kind of back into, my long plays, and a good buy there in that area right there can give you a good risk to reward. 10-cent risk, potential reward, up there to 27 cents on the first profit, and after that would be 35 cents for the second profit.
Look at a TEVA, TEVA. It's just about where's risk. Risk can reasonably be at 1550 or so. 10-cent risk reward level. I mean, it's good risk reward. About 2 to 1 for TEVA. I just don't want, like, a lot of these have been breaking over the VWAP. TEVA might be a little low here. But you look at NBEV, Cron, even the trade I got in, NIO, they kind of just cracked the VWAP a little bit. Roku back at the VWAP some. I like the risk reward on Roku, but it's a big range stock. SPY's breaking through on the upside as well, so we might get some stocks starting to rebound.
It's looking interesting. UXIN getting up there to the VWAP almost. Nah, might have not even gave me a chance. Hasn't gone to the VWAP.
What I like about UXIN is that it really committed to that downward trend at the open, so it's a little bit better than some of these other ones we're looking at. Yeah, no, I mean, I look at the time and sales for sure, Dales. Like, what we usually do is, like, you can see this time and sales has big orders, like simply big orders coming in. You can change it on Thinkorswim to where you can just set just big orders to go through. I have anything over 2,000 shares coming through on the time and sales to show us. I think it's just been kind of a holiday week. I've been trying to take it small just because I know trading's going to be a little less reliable on holiday weeks like this, where the volume, like somebody said, all the big traders are out on yachts right now. But we'll see what we get. I mean, TEVA would have been okay. I was looking at it a little bit late for it. I've just been trying to take little baby trades this week because I don't know if I feel comfortable using that bigger sizing this week. Been kind of a break-even few weeks.
There's Watch showing up.
WATT.
There's the break. It's looking good. All right, now it's looking better. Let's see if it bounces one more time and can't get above 10 tens on Cron. Then we can go ahead and we can take a risk somewhere in the 10.05s off 10.15.
All right, John O, I get it, man. Yeah, I tried to teach my daughter how to trade. She had no interest in it. Like, I was like, look, this is what this means, and this is what this means. And she was just kind of like, that's cool. Can I go now? 9-year-olds. TEVA would have been good. I was watching it. Just got in a little late. Or saw it a little late.
I mean, UXIN looking good. I don't know if you want to watch that one, see if you get a good entry on that one. Has a great range if you want to kind of take small share size for that bigger risk to reward.
Yeah, Yeah, I would have to set risk at 69 or so, really. And so with that, I don't know how good the risk reward is. Maybe you could set it at 50, 57, 55, 57.
I think the entry is in the 40s, and then you could risk off of 55 or 60.
Yeah, what's up, Christopher? What's up, man?
Spy down, back again, heading
Hoss,
towards
man.
lows.
What's up, Hoss? I sent you that link yesterday, man, so just check your email, brother. Roku fading. Rejecting, I should say.
Come on, bounce up.
Yeah, look at Roku, man. There it is. Like that. I was looking at it. Nice little rejection. That's why I said earlier, like I want to start backtesting rejections. At least rejections seem to be more common right now in this downward market that we've been getting. Tiva too. Kind of bummed out. I missed Tiva. I was definitely watching it. It was about 2 to 1 risk reward from 1540 to 1550, 10 cents from 1540 down to 1520, 20 cents. So 2 to 1 on Tiva. CEI, did it have a split? If it had a split,
Trying to get short here on Cron at 10:08. If I get a bounce, I'll get filled here. The risk would be off 10:11 or 10:12.
oh, Kane, you're Alex. I was wondering who that was. That was you that signed up yesterday, Kane. I sent you an email, brother. If you got into the Discord, just let me know. I'll send you the backlog that we have. I didn't see if we had anybody new join. I kind of screwed up class yesterday though, because when I rewatched the class we recorded yesterday, it was I didn't include anybody else since I was messing around with the mic trying to get Todd's voice on the class. It actually didn't record anybody else's voice but me, and so it sounds like I'm a crazy person like talking to myself in the class in the replay last night.
John, you're not crazy?
Yeah, nah, dude, I was just talking to myself, man. You know?
Oh, all right. That's just normal.
But yeah, Discord, Alex is where we do. It's like where we post classes. We have like our little chat in there. So that's very true, Isaac. I do sound kind of crazy, man. Mitch is kind of like the very calm, very serious one, and I'm like the one that rambles on and tells jokes. We mesh well though; it works. We got the crazy one, me, and we have the serious one, Mitch. So it works,
Hey. All right, looking to get a bounce here in Cron. 10:08 order out. 10:08 order. If it doesn't come up on this like next coming kind of candles up here, just gonna let it go.
It hurts on Tiva. Look at Tiva, man. This is what I called out. Beautiful follow through. Perfect.
Oof. It's
Yeah,
a beauty.
I called it out too.
Right risk to reward. That's what I was trying to tell you in like kind of the trades, to look out for today. Look for that right risk to reward. If you get that right risk to reward, then you'll be able to really master it, especially on a slow day. Like
something that. Go ahead.
Like make sure that your risk is not a 1-to-1 trade on a slow day.
Right.
If your trade's a 1-to-1 trade on a slow day, you're doing something wrong.
Right, for sure. And it's also what Mark Douglas said, right? Mark Douglas said, like, you backtest stocks and like we backtest our setups, right? But in order to recreate that backtesting results that you got when you backtested it, you have to take each opportunity of your strategy. If the conditions are there and the strategy's there and the risk and reward is there, you have to take it. Because if not, like he says, there's a random distributions of wins and losses, right? And so if you don't take each opportunity of your strategy that's presented in the market, that random distribution is gonna affect you more, And so it's just about if your conditions there, the risk reward's there, and the strategy's there, you got to take it.
Kron looking really interesting here. Trying to see if the SPY is going to break a new low here. Let's see if the SPY wants to break a new low here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would say most of our classes are about risk. Pun. Like most of them, like we have risk reward classes. We have risk and reward, how we relate them to certain strategies. We have profit and loss ratios. Like we got a class on everything within that usually.
Let's get a hard reject here of 1010. Big sizing there, 1010 showing up.
But yeah, what Sid said is true. Like even if you just watch the stream, like you can see, like we constantly, that's all we talk about is like where risk is, where reward is. If Mitch gets in a trade, I quiz him like, where's your risk, where's your reward, you know, and that's what you got to do.
That's what I didn't want to see. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and save my risk for tomorrow. Sometimes it's always better to not go ahead and just try to push into something that I can't make money on. Seeing a hard reject there of 11. Let's see if the SPY breaks down here. This is what I really wanted to see. It was kind of that reject of that level here. Could have got that wick over. Let's see if we get a hard reject here and the SPY to break down through the low.
I wouldn't hate taking Tiva here, but the VWAP has to drop some. You know, like in order for me to really like Tiva, I would want to use this previous high right here at about 1540 as my risk. And so with that said, the VWAP would have to drop down to preferably like 35 or so for me to really get interested in it. And the VWAP's just staying a little bit too high for me to want to get in that one.
Yeah, I just see the stocks kind of holding a little bit too well there. I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Save my risk for tomorrow. Learn, guys, that sometimes it isn't worth it to get in a red day. Sometimes it's a lot better to save your money, wait for that right trade so that you can hit it harder versus get yourself in a hole and then trying to get yourself out of a hole tomorrow.
Right.
Seeing Kron hold there, didn't do what I needed it to do, which was reject there and come right back down to that VWAP. And then we would have been looking really nice there. But we didn't get that move, so I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Enjoy my day. You guys have a good one.
Brother. Have a good
Take
day,
care.
man. So now that Mitch is gone, it just kind of leaves me to sit in my lonesome self, you know, by myself with a few hundred people watching me. Watching Tiva. Like I said, for me to really really want to get in Tiva, the VWAP would have to drop some so I could use this area as my risk or tight risk. Hey, good job, Aries. Yeah, I'm still here. I'll have to see something I really like to get in right now if for me to take another trade. I just don't see anything I like. I kind of had a little baby trade on NIO with small size, tight range, and so that one didn't work out. Probably just kind of, I would have to see something I really like for me to get in it at this point. Looking at MU, MU's been looking pretty strong today. Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, here's the thing, right? Like with the VWAP fade, you really want to see like a big commitment to a downward trend. Like, so a good example of it is Tiva or what is another one? You can see just a big downward trend, very obvious downward move, pull back to the VWAP, beautiful little follow through, and it even kind of bounced back here. If I was in this one, I could have added right here, but like I said, the VWAP would have to drop a little bit more so I can use this high, which would also be this low right here is my risk right here. And so since the VWAP never really dropped enough, risk would be 3 cents. It's just too tight of a risk if there is such a thing. Yeah, AMD's just really choppy, just sideways action right now. Yeah, look at that VWAP bounce on JD Desert. That was a good bounce. The VWAP bounce is like the opposite of the fade, right? You get a big upward push, pull back to the VWAP, and then a bounce, you know. Risk would have to be at 21.26. Reward level would have been up here. And so, let's see, what is that? 50 down to about 25-cent risk. Reward level from 50 up to 87. Not the best risk reward. What would that be? 37 cents versus 25-cent risk. Better than 1-to-1, but not by much. Yes, I am. You win. Yeah, Dells. I think it's really like trading. Like I think the reason I love trading, right? I think to be successful in trading, you have to have a big passion for it. You have to love doing it, and you have to love doing it enough to just deal with the downswings that are inevitably going to happen, especially as a new trader. I think the reason most new traders fail is because they give up. Like a very common tale in trading is like a new trader, they see all these gurus like hype it up like you can make $1 million in a week, you know, by just buying my course or whatever they want to say. And they end up doing that, and they get the wrong impression about trading. They think it's like a get rich quick scheme that you can like, you know, when really it's like earning a degree in something, you know, and you have to pay your tuition, which is you're gonna lose money. And the ones that make it are the ones that kind of persevere through losing money and continue to still love doing it, and just work on improving every day. And the ones that fall in the 90% are the ones that take too big of sizing when they first get started, lose a bunch of money, and then give up saying trading's rigged or whatever they want to say, you know. And so I think with trading, you just got to take it slow. You got to take it slow. You got to use small sizing, find consistent profits, learn the process, learn how to use risk and reward, back test strategies, and you know, approach it that way with small sizing until you show consistent enough gains to move up. And that's kind of like where I'm at as a trader, which is like I've shown consistent gains. I've just been trying to scale up now. Past 2 weeks have been roughly break even, maybe down a little bit, but I think it's, you know, I don't want to blame it on the market because I probably made some mistakes too, but it's just the process of scaling up. I knew that it may be a few transitional weeks as I'm scaling up in sizing, and that's to be expected, I guess. Appreciate the sub, NAG. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, right. I mean, that's what we have a class like one of the psych classes that we do, and one of the things that we always talk about is that don't make excuses. Like if you had a losing week, you know, don't blame it on the market, because if you're blaming it on the market, it means you probably shouldn't have traded that stock anyway, you know. And so, like I said, I could blame it on the market. I think I just probably traded when I shouldn't have, you know. But overall, this is kind of my transitional week where I'm moving up in sizing. My transitional few, like however long it takes, I just have to commit to it. You know, before I moved up in sizing, my accuracy rate was like 80% or so. You know, I had a pretty high accuracy rate. You know, really good risk reward in my trades. And so once I moved up in sizing, I started making a little bit more mistakes. And so I think it's just one of those things where I just have to commit to the bigger sizing. Understand I might take some losses at first, but it's going to even itself out once I get comfortable with the bigger sizing. And then just kind of continue to work at it. It's a process for sure. How do I set your own risk profit? I mean, we call it risk reward, but um, like here's a good example: TEVA, right? You look at TEVA on this fade right here, so on this move right here, right? If you enter it at 1540, your risk can be up here at 1550, basing it off of the $0.50 as well as this resistance here, as well as the resistance in pre-market. And so your risk right here is 10 cents. 10-cent risk right here. If you get in the stock here, your risk is this square up here. If it gets up to the 1550 level, you're going to get out of the trade, and that's your risk. And you can effectively use your reward target as this previous low of the day down at around 1520 really. So your reward level, your risk would be 10 cents, your reward level would be down to 1520, so 20 cents. And so your risk is 10 and your reward is 20. And so your risk is half the size of your reward, and your reward is 2 times the size of your risk. And so that gives you a risk reward ratio of 2 to 1, or a reward to risk ratio of 2 to 1, sorry. And so that's a good example of it for TEVA. That's how I calculate it, basing it off of the chart. Yeah, 1 to 2 risk to reward is usually what I try to stick with. Yeah, I don't know if it's anything wrong with my strategy. I think that with the new emotions with bigger sizing, it makes me not take the trades that I would typically take. So for instance, like I got an NIO, don't think it was a bad trade idea. Uh, Maybe a little low volume for it, and so it just kind of faked me out there. But I think the risk reward was good for NIO. It just didn't work out. But like I said, when you back test a strategy, you're going to get a certain accuracy rate, right? But there's a random distribution of wins and losses in the market. And so in order to recreate that accuracy rate you got when you backtest it, you effectively have to take each opportunity that strategy presents if the conditions are there. And I think where I'm falling short with the bigger sizing is that I'm not taking each opportunity. Like for instance, NIO, I got in NIO, but then I didn't get in TEVA, which would have made me my money back plus some. And so I think it's just a process. It's like I said, I'm using bigger sizing than I normally would. And so it's just a process of me getting used to it and not being so worried about losing as much with the bigger sizing since I'm not used to it and there's some added emotion that comes with it. Right. I mean, that's kind of the way we view it, Adele's. And like that's what I say. Like we do our classes. Like we're not trying to be experts or gurus. We're just trying to teach people the process, and the process works. It's just there's different stages. At this point, I'm in the scaling up stage, and it's definitely new emotion for me. It's something that is going to require conditioning. I have to condition my brain to accept the losses with bigger sizing. I have to condition my brain to get in each opportunity the strategy presents. And, it's like Pavlov and the dog. You just got to do it over and over and over again until it becomes second nature. And you don't have to worry about it or think about it as much. Right, 100% Adele's. You all talk the same. Stocks are very easy to explain. Is that a Pokemon? I know you're kind of talking smack here, a Haunter, but is that a Pokemon as your picture? If so, I mean, I know you don't like me, but respect, man. Pokemon for life. Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest mistake Adele is that new traders make is that they try to jump in with huge sizing. They try to emulate what they see these big gurus do, and it usually ends up hurting them. Yeah, it's very simple trading. It's very easy. By square feet. Would I trade somebody else's money? Probably not. No. I mean, the reason I wouldn't trade somebody else's money is because I already listen. Like I already run a stream, and I have hundreds of people that watch me every day. And trading already gives you enough pressure, and the goal in trading is try to minimize the pressure that you have on yourself. And so, if I was trading somebody else's money, I feel like I would have more pressure on me, and it may make me make the wrong decisions with somebody else's money. I would rather lose my own money than somebody else's. Uh, yeah, for sure. Tiva kind of forming a little channel here in between the VWAP. It just depends on what the SPY does today. I mean, the SPY is trying to hold over 240, but it's just a slow, dull day again. You know, we should next week, Monday should be a little bit better. I mean, realistically, I think the easiest investing strategy is just the Warren Buffett method, which is research healthy companies, buy and hold for years. That's easily the most successful investment strategy there's ever been, and it has the highest success rate as opposed to like day trading, which is probably the hardest. Um, it really has, Samuel. It's been a terrible month, man. You know, like my trading was great in October, November, and then like the very beginning of December, my trading was good. You know, it's ironic though. It's like my trading was great, you know, for months leading up to December, and then I figured I would scale up in sizing in December, and like as soon as December rolled around, it may be my mistakes from larger sizing as well though, but market's been kind of doo doo, you know. And it's the Feds raised the interest rates about a week ago too. Because like the real way that I approach my strategy, right, like the VWAP fade, like the real way that I approach it is I look for overextended gap ups. I look for stocks that are gapping up over 10%, and then I try to short them with a VWAP fade on the way down. You know, usually looking for not healthy companies, terrible companies. And with the market like it is, we don't really have that many big gap ups, and so it's kind of hard to find those stocks that are overextended on the upside with so much downward movement in the last few weeks. And so I think that has something to do with it as well. College? No, it not with day trading. Maybe with investing, college could help, but maybe with investing college would help, but like day trading is like a very niche form of trading. Like I said, day trading is probably the single hardest investment strategy to implement. It's the single hardest one to be successful at. And so anybody that really tries to be successful with day trading is, you know, is giving themselves low odds, and that's just kind of how it is. Day trading's tough, you know. Um, but as for college, I don't think there's much value, and I wouldn't. I put it this way: I wouldn't pay for a college tuition to learn to trade. I think that would be very silly to do. Yeah, Alex, I just got your message on Discord, brother. Once the stream ends, I'll send you all the old ones, man. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Samuel says I'm with you, bro. I hit a wall this month. It's not only you. I've struggled too. Sometimes it's the market conditions. Yeah, man. It's just here's the thing, right? Like the Feds raised the interest rates, and so that did affect the market for sure. Um, and so it's like you get used to a certain market condition, and then when the market condition changes, you kind of have to reevaluate what you do. And I think that's kind of the position we're in. It was just bad timing for me because it's like like before this month, like I was at like 80% accuracy. Like I was averaging one losing day a week. And I'm still averaging like last week I had 3 green days, 2 red, and so it's not bad. It's not like my trading is just falling off a cliff, but it's definitely kind of flatlined a little bit, and just kind of bad timing for me to increase size. I waited to increase size. I probably should have done it 2 months ago, and I just picked the wrong month for it, which, the market will stabilize. It'll even itself out, but yeah, I bet, Chi. Where are you from, man? Spy pulling back here. Look at the spy. Taiwan. Oh, cool. Is this the best time to buy and hold, like the Warren Buffett method? It depends on how long, Lance. Like, what do you mean by buy and hold? Do you mean like buy and hold for years, or do you mean like buy and hold for like a week or two, or like a month or two? It all depends on the time frame, brother. Nice. You from Taiwan? That's cool, man. I'd like to go overseas sometime. I'm originally from Louisiana. I live in Texas though, but I'm from Louisiana. Just got back actually for like a month or two. All right, Felix. Later, brother. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I like this time to buy better than obviously like a while back, just because the market's down some. I think was it Warren Buffett that said it is best to be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. I think it was Warren Buffett, and so you know, market down like it is. I mean, I don't know. It could be a good time to buy. I really don't know. Right, 100%. Exactly. That's probably what it was. That's right, Matthew. Hey, brother. Honestly, Matthew, sorry, I'm gonna switch topics to MMA right now because I've been talking with my buddies about it for the last few days. But how about that, man? John Jones gets popped again, and the excuses they give us are nonsense for John Jones failing for Ball again. The problem is that the dude passed like 8 drug tests right in the last year, right? And now all of a sudden that mystery picogram or whatever they want to say is all of a sudden showing up in his test, even though it didn't show up for the last 8 tests he took. Absolutely ridiculous. They're just trying to salvage the card because it's one of the biggest cards of the year, and they don't want to lose the main event, 100%. But it's ridiculous. That's right, Isaac. Yeah, but picogram, man, it doesn't matter. I mean, I think they looked at his last test results though. They looked at his last test results from his last drug test, and he actually had the same amount in his system, and they suspended him for the same amount that he has this time. This time they're just letting it go. Like it's the same. It's the same type of failure that he had last time, and they're just trying to throw out some pseudoscience so people defend him. Right. And that's not a coincidence, Matthew. Right, for sure. Hey, when the market's dull and I don't see anything I like, I'll talk MMA. I'll talk Pokemon too. I'm down. We can talk Xbox. Spy's up here at the VWAP though. I'm curious to see what it does right here. I mean, come on. I don't know if I really believe that. Oh, what a convenient test that as soon as he fails, it's because of better technology. Listen, man, I think John Jones is probably uh, the best fighter there's ever been. Like, I'll put it this way. I think he's the best MMA fighter there's ever been. You know, but I also think there's gonna be a little check next to his name after this. Like, I think he's probably the greatest MMA fighter there's ever been. You know, to his credit, even without steroids, I think he would probably be the best there's ever been. So don't think I dislike Jones. I love watching him fight. You know, I think he's easily the best light heavyweight there's ever been. But I think it's obvious he's been using, and it's obvious, like they say, maybe microdosing is what he's been doing, like taking small amounts, and like that's what we're seeing. But you know, it's just one of those things where you can't ignore it. I think Cyborg's gonna beat Amanda up. I think Cyborg's gonna beat her up. I haven't checked out Brock Lesnar in a while. Yeah, I watch Bellator, Jason. Yeah, I watch Bellator. Habib, I think Habib's an animal, man. I don't think Habib's gonna get beat for a long time. I think maybe if somebody's gonna beat Habib, it may be Ortega. Even though Ortega just got owned by Holloway, I think Ortega could maybe give Habib a run. Maybe Tony Ferguson, but I think Habib's gonna stay champ for a while. Oh yeah, Fedor, man. I think Fedor was the goat. Definitely the heavyweight goat. I'm in the Houston area, North Houston, JT. I don't like Silva as much, man. I don't like Silva as much, especially since he popped for steroids. I think Silva's a beast. I think he's just old school, and I think the new school fighters caught up with him. I think he's a beast. Don't get me wrong, but I think that the the levels to fighting have changed. Yeah, I got to go with Kane though. I got to go with Kane Velasquez on that one. Kane's a beast. I think Kane's one of the best heavyweights there's ever been to. I think he's just got hit with the injury bug too much. Um, I think when he lost to Verdum, that it was the elevation that tired him out quicker than he was used to, and I think Verdum spent more time in that higher elevation and so got more accustomed to it before the fight. Right, exactly, Matthew. Sea level Kane is the goat. Yeah, for sure, man. Kane's a beast. You know, Kane's a monster. Yeah, back in the day, BJ Penn was the truth. Nowadays, I really don't want to see him fight anymore. Not that I enjoy watching him fight. I just kind of feel bad when he fights because he gets beat up. You know, that last fight versus Yair, kind of, you know, he got beat up too much. This next fight, he's fighting, man, I can't think of the name. But the dude's like a leg lock specialist. BJ Penn's next opponent. And so I'm a little, I think that fight's going to go pretty quick. Look at JD with two VWAP bounces, though. Tiva actually following through with another fade on the VWAP. GSP, I respect GSP. I think GSP, though, this is the thing. I think GSP's a beast, but I think that um, I think GSP waited for Bisping to get the belt because he saw Bisping as an easy fight, and then he jumped in, won the middleweight belt, and then didn't want to fight. He didn't want any of Robert Whitaker. Like GSP did not want any of Robert Whitaker, and so he lets go of the belt, you know, because he knows he's going to get knocked out, and he doesn't want to ruin his legacy. And so I think I like GSP. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's a little scared of hurting his legacy though, where it's like I actually respect Conor McGregor more because Conor McGregor goes out there and fights even if the odds are against him, you know. Even if it hurts his legacy, Conor McGregor takes the fights. I think GSP kind of cherry picks a little bit. All right, Chi. Later, brother. No, I mean, I like GSP. Don't get me wrong. As a fan of MMA, I have my favorite fighters. I like Tony Ferguson. I like Habib. Uh, I like DC. I'm a little biased though because DC's from Louisiana, about an hour from where I'm from. No, I'm not, Isaac. Listen, my stepdad is from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. I've lived in Canada. I love Canada. So don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't like Canadians. It's just that GSP, I think he cherry picks his opponents a little bit. And I would have respected GSP more if he would have fought Robert Whitaker, after he beat Bisping. But instead, he jumped in with an old Bisping, beat him, and then relinquished the belt. I didn't like that. All right, Spy's rebounding here. Switch topics. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, GSP would have gotten owned by Whitaker. All right, Sec. Later, brother. CVRR popping up on my skaters too. Yeah, it's starting to run. NBEV's back up to the VWAP. It's just about where my risk is going to be in this trade if I got into it. Risk would have to be probably 23 or so, maybe 25 is where I'd be comfortable with it, giving me about a 9 cent risk. Reward level could be down to 505, which would be only about a 10 cent reward. So because of that, I think the risk reward's just about 1-to-1 on NBEV. So I don't like it as much. Oh, also, if anybody is interested in signing up to TradeNet, I have a link that the Christmas sale is done, but you can still get 10% off if you go through my link. So if you're interested in using the broker I'm using, which is TradeNet, you can go through my link. I make a commission from it. It's one of the ways I keep the live stream always free. And so if you want to check out TradeNet, check out the broker that we're using, Mitch and I, you can go through the link I just posted in the chat. Also, shout out to Trade Ideas. They're cool enough to let me stream their scans every day, and really enjoy using Trade Ideas. Really awesome scanners. Really awesome scans. Make my morning really easy. So if you're interested in checking out Trade Ideas as well, I just posted that link. No, I use Thinkorswim for charts, Abdul. I use Thinkorswim for charting specifically. I use TradeNet to execute my trades, or TEFs to execute my trades. I use Thinkorswim for charts. GSP is not the best UFC fighter ever, Mitch. I gotta disagree with you, brother. I think the best fighter, like I said, I think the best fighter is either Habib or Jones. And even though Jones got popped, I still think that he has the most talent out of almost all of the UFC fighters. Him and Habib are probably the two where I would put at the greatest of all time list. Maybe Fedor too back in the day. Fedor just got old. I mean, GSP got knocked out by Matt Serra. And I respect Matt Serra and everything, but GSP got knocked out by Matt Serra, Mitch. And I know he avenged the loss, but come on. I mean, you can't be the GOAT and then get knocked out by Matt Serra. I thought Gustafsson had it, Richard. I thought Gustafsson took it. But I thought Gustafsson took it, but I think that you have to. It has to be definitive if you're going to beat the champ, and so I think you have to really beat the champ if you're going to take the belt. And I think it was close enough to where you could have called it either way, really. Yeah, 27-0, man. Like I said, I think Habib is a monster, right? Like you see, this is why I like Habib, right? You see fighters that have a lot of trouble with these top guys, right? And Habib just runs through them. Like, it's not even close. Like, Habib just mauls all these top 5 fighters that everybody else has trouble with. Habib just mauls them. You know, never lost a fight. I gotta kind of go with Habib. He's just a monster. Yeah, Gracie was good back in the day. You know, of course, Gracie was a beast too. I don't know, man. Silva got popped for steroids, Clay. You know, Silva did get popped for steroids twice, I believe. All right, Sid. Have a good day, brother. Later, man. The only one I'm kind of looking at now is ROKU. If ROKU can get back to this VWAP level of 3075, risk could be up here at 3118 or so, 3114 or so. So a pretty tight risk, big reward. You know, risk can be this could be risk, reward could be at least down to here. And so really good risk reward for ROKU. So that's the only other one I'm considering. I would have to scale down in sizing because the range is pretty big. Risk would be about 40 cents or so. And so with that, I would have to size down a little bit. Absolutely, Abdul. I think Connor was definitely babied. I think that Habib was the only skilled wrestler grappler that Connor ever faced. Right? I think that they hit. I think he faced Mendez on like 2 weeks' notice, but that was it. And I think that he most definitely was babied by the UFC. And I understand why, but I think he was definitely. I think Connor's a really talented striker, really brilliant striker. But I think the UFC hit him from high level grapplers because they knew they didn't want their hype fighter to lose prematurely. It's crazy how many MMA fans we have that are also traders. I didn't expect everybody to be an MMA fan in here. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I think Connor's great. I just think that I think they hit him from high level grapplers, and you kind of see how it goes when he fights one with Habib. You know, who do I think Connor should face next? Um, I'd like to see Connor versus Tony. I think Connor versus Tony would be a hell of a fight. Aldo or Cerrone? I think I like Cerrone. I think Cerrone's done though. I think he could still win, obviously, but I think I think Cerrone's a little chinny, you know, and I think he's just been in a lot of wars, and so I like Cerrone. I just think he's starting to get over the hill a little bit. Yeah, I'd like to see him fight Diaz again. Diaz is one of my favorite fighters too, even though those dudes never fight, but one of my favorites to watch. But yeah, the only one I'm really watching right now is ROKU. If ROKU can get up to 3075, I could set a risk of 3115 or so with the reward level down at 2960s. So big risk reward, really big risk reward on that one. Um, so that's the only one I'm really watching. SPY pulling back some now. But yeah, I think Jodes was obviously using again, though. I mean, it kind of puts an asterisk next to his name. Yeah, we'll see if we get this for Roku, though. It's got some resistance above it if it can get up here. Yeah, those were the glory days, Todd. Tank Abbott, Don Fry, Kimbo. Yeah, those are a beast. Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to watch Kimbo fight online. Kimbo's fights were all over the internet. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do some back testing today, though. Really, I'm gonna start back testing the VWAP rejection specifically, and see what we get. I'm noticing a few good examples of it. Appreciate the sub, Vosmi. Vomsi. How would I trade a downtrend? Usually with a downtrend, I'd look for a rebound after the first green day or so. Yeah, we got to do some back testing today. I mean, the market's definitely changed, and so I just got to see what is the most beneficial right now in this market. This is what I'm starting to see, though. Like, here's some kind of here's just kind of some little notes that I've been taking in the market thus far. So, like, you see TIVA. The fade seems to be working more when it has one confirmation. So, like, for instance, here's the downward move in TIVA. And once it confirmed the fade here, the subsequent fades worked really well. And so, same thing kind of with a bounce play. Like, if you look at JD, it confirmed the bounce here. And the subsequent bounce worked really nicely and followed through really nicely here. And so, looking for some confirmation in these. Same thing with MU even, you know. Once it confirms it, then it seems to be a little bit more likely in this market. And so kind of confirming the downward trend here. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. That's probably what I'll start testing a little bit more. Just back testing some of these, looking for confirmation in the bounce and the fade. It's really kind of what I'm seeing right now. Because if not, you get kind of a move like CGC where if it doesn't confirm it here, you get a move like this where it just kind of fakes out the fade like right here. And so when it confirms like TEVA and JD numerous times, it seems to be more reliable. So that's kind of what I'm looking at this point. Makes sense if you think about it. Just looking for confirmation. Probably what I'll start attacking a little bit more. But looking for some rejection as well. Like if you look at CGC here, it had a nice VWAP rejection, beautiful one here. Like look at this rejection, perfect follow through, tight risk, big reward. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at now with rejections and then confirmations and fades and bounces. But look how choppy like Cron is, CGC. Just getting some choppiness. Just sideways. WATT took off like a rocket today, man. What would Gordon Ramsay say if he traded? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't follow him that much. He'd probably talk smack somehow. I'm guessing. What language, Jason? Or are you responding to Abdul? Yeah, like I said, only one I'm really watching right now is Roku. If Roku can get up to 3066 now, it's just about where risk is at, but the reward's bigger now, so 3066 up to 31 or so maybe. I like 31. So 34 cent risk, reward level down at 29.30s or so, big reward. AMD. Yeah, I mean, if AMD can climb up to 1739, risk level could be this 54 area here. Wait, let me get the line out. 53, 54. Giving us a, what is that? 15 cent risk. Reward can be all the way down to 05 or so, giving you a 35 cent reward. So 15 cent risk, 35 cent reward, better than 2-to-1 reward to risk. So yeah, watching AMD and ROKU. Alright guys, I don't see these stocks getting back to my levels. If you want to see what I'm going to be watching for the rest of the day, it's ROKU up to 3065 with a risk of about 50 or 31. And it's AMD up to the VWAP at 38, 30, or 40 or so with a risk of 54. Reward level down at the previous low of the day. So that's what I'm looking at now. I'll go ahead and close it down. Like I said, if anybody is interested in signing up to TradeNet, which is the broker I use, the Christmas sale is over, but you can still get 10% off if you go through my link. If you don't know what TradeNet is, it is similar to a prop firm. There's no PDT, and you pay for a package. It's not a deposit. Like when I first started, I paid for the intro package, and with that, they gave me $14,000 in buying power with a $700 max loss. And so if it went under $13,300, they close the account down, and there's a 70-30 profit split on any profit over that $14K. And so if anybody's interested in using them, pretty cheap commissions. That's the broker Mitch and I are using. And so I just posted the link. It's the jump to click link. If anybody's interested in checking them out, reaching out to them, you can go through that link. Also, shout out to Trade Ideas, cool enough to let me stream their scans every day. If you're wondering what scanners I'm using Trade Ideas scanners. Make my mornings much easier. And so if you're interested in checking out Trade Ideas, there's the link in the chat as well. Yeah, recoil. Best advice is to research a strategy, back test that strategy, figure out how accurate it is, figure out the favorable conditions, go in with small sizing until you show consistent gains and you can scale up. That's what I would do. Yeah, kind of exactly what Todd said, Mr. Chart said. But yeah, guys, good luck for the rest of the day. We'll see if any of these give me any good opportunities. Some of these are preset. It all depends. Like these are just their preset scanners. The High of the Day Momo is like a different one, and the breaking out on volume is one that I created. Is that I made? I like created this breaking out on volume scan down here, and so you can. The cool thing about Trade Ideas is that you can actually like build your own scanners, and so that's what I did with these. But like the gap scanners are like the preset scanners. Like everybody gets the gap scanners automatically, and you could just pull them up, and so. Yeah, I mean, we have our classes. Our classes revolve around teaching people really like risk and reward is that what we really try to go for. Like teaching people calculating it, different strategies, back testing. Yesterday we had a back testing class kind of. These are same day scans, Matthew. These are all same day scans. I don't really look at the old scans except for maybe action heating up right now may show some from yesterday and biggest gainer percentage, but like most of these are same day scans, like live scans. All right, guys. Good luck. I'll see you all a little bit later. See you tomorrow for the stream. For everybody in class, we'll see you tonight. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Mention I day trade live on stream every weekday morning, and so we'll hope you'll join us again. Also, if you appreciate this content, click the like button right now on this stream. If you want to help show your support, you can click the like button, and it does help us. It does help support us, and we appreciate any support we can get. So if you appreciate the content, click the like button. We'll see you all tomorrow. Good luck for the rest of the day, and I'll try to if I get in anything else, I'll try to update you all. But later, guys. See you all tomorrow.